Hey everyone, Chris Inman with I.D.E.A. Cleveland.
Brian Butkowski with Bomb Image.
And we're here with another bomb idea. So today we want to talk about limited resources.
Yes.
So we talk to clients and they're always a little bit overwhelmed about the idea of like, oh, I don't have time to create all this marketing content. I can't make a blog every week. I can't make a YouTube video. Okay, let's slow down.
Sure.
We all have limited time. You have limited time, I have limited time.
Yeah, everybody does.
We spend a lot of time working in our business and with our clients.
Right.
So even our content has limited time for us to do that.
Absolutely.
So here's some ideas. Here's the first thing that I think that everyone should think about. What are you good at?
Absolutely.
Start there. Are you good at recording videos, short videos? Can you just pull out your cell phone or sit down with somebody and have a conversation like we are? Are you good at that? All right, that's where you should start. Are you good at writing?
Mm-hmm.
Can you sit down and pound out a blog in 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
Right.
Start there. Start with what you're good at.
Right, and I would say too, like as the parable goes, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? Let's not try to do all things at once. Let's start to do the things that we can do with our limited resources. And yeah, in today's world, everybody's limited. So how do you make that work? I'd say if I can add on to it even, and I just think it's practical, to your point about sitting down with somebody, the accountability.
Yes.
I think that if I was to try and do this on my own, it wouldn't be as easy. It wouldn't be as easy for me to say, all right, I want to dedicate the time. But when we put it on the calendar and we're going to do these things and we set the time, it's always great to have a partner to help keep you accountable, to make sure that things are getting done and getting out. Because as we've talked in the past, consistency is what matters.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you probably can scroll down through our LinkedIn posts, and we don't have a lot of solo videos, either one of us.
Sure.
There's a few here, there, but as we start doing these more consistently together, you'll see more and more content because we are, we're putting each other on the spot. Like we're meeting this time and we're going to record and then we're going to do it, and it's good for our brands.
Absolutely, and I think that to your point, that's what we're good at. Doing this, it's a little easier for me than sitting down to write, especially because how do you get as much accountability for writing? I mean, we can call each other and say,
hey, I've been thinking about writing a book for over a year.
Right. Hey, are you writing right now? How many pages you get done? But something like this is a little easier. I like to have conversations. I like to spotlight people. I like to spotlight ideas. Again, this stuff isn't necessarily earth-shattering, but it's great reminders on how we can help people to, hey, get out of your own head sometimes and move forward. Do what you're good at. That's my favorite part that you said. Do what you're good at.
So let's pick something that we're not good at as an example. Writing a blog.
Sure.
Okay, so you write a blog. There's going to be segments in there that you can pull out excerpts of quotes, and those could be your social media posts.
Absolutely.
Which leads to the full blog, which on your website has your call to action. We won't get into all call actions and all that today, but that's just how you create little pieces of segmented material off of that long form. Yeah. Everyone talks about long form and the short form and all that. So when you think about this, you don't need to have 100 ideas in 100 days.
Right.
That's overwhelming. Oh my God, you'd
have to dedicate yourself to doing that. That would be your full-time job.
That would be and there's content marketers that are physically, that's all they do. Right. That's the Mr. Beast of the world.
Sure.
And so if you put out, what do you think would be a good number of posts per week on social media is a good way just to get your message out? What number would you say?
Obviously the algorithms don't always push everything, so not everybody sees stuff. So to me, one of the earmarks that I look at for myself and for clients, again, especially in a B2B world, we're not talking necessarily consumer space, but if you could do 3 to 5 things of some value, again, not just fluff, not, hey, this is what I had for dinner. Although, hey, if that gets your brand out there, by all means. And again, if that's something special too, where, again, maybe your dinner is a client dinner, or maybe it's a partner dinner. Those are things that you can collaborate, and again, you can generate ideas out of anywhere, out of thin air, really. But yeah, I'd like 3 to 5. Do you have a thought on your end?
No, I think 3, 5 is a impressive number. If you can put out 5.
If you can push for that, I would say if you shoot for 5, you get 3. You can be happy.
I think if you put out 3 things a week, you should be very, very satisfied with your social media content.
Yeah, and I think again in the B2B space, the other part of this that sometimes gets unnoticed or untalked about is really if you're actually out there and engaging with other people's stuff. So if I can't put a post out, what could I do? There's varying ideas on if it's worth resharing somebody else's post on, say, LinkedIn. Facebook, I don't think it hurts the algorithm. but I could reshare yours. I could comment on it. Chris, all right, here. And again, with some value, not, hey, great post. Well, okay, what was great about it? Hey, this is an idea I've had in my mind for a certain amount of time. I'm glad you brought it back to my attention. Those are ways that you can get your face, your name, your brand. And again, if you have really insightful comments, hey, I tried that. And you know what? You're right on the money. Or I tried that, and I also had to modify, and I changed some things. Man, you're actually really providing value, and it could be a little sentence or two that you add on to somebody else's post that actually brings attention to you and brings your brand forward. So I think that there's a lot that you
that is a great thing.
Really
so if you
with.
think about it, if you put on your calendar 15 minutes on Tuesday and 15 minutes on Thursday to just open up that LinkedIn, if you're on LinkedIn and that's where you're a B2B, just scroll that news feed.
Sure.
Hey, that post, that was interesting. Make an insightful value add comment. And this does two things. This puts you in front of other people's connections, so it spreads who you are.
Right.
And it also creates valuable content there. So maybe that comment, you're like, oh, wow, that was really good. You can literally then just share that post.
Exactly.
And say, hey, I made a comment, blah, 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 in the comments in this post,
Right.
and XYZ. Boom. Just add your own. Don't just hit share.
Right.
Hit share with comment.
Exactly.
And be like, hey, this was a great post by this person. I engage. What's your thoughts?
Exactly.
Boom.
Well, and another boom on top of that, so another bomb idea right from that out of thin air would be, okay, so you could do that. You could share it. You could kind of show your little piece of it, or you could build your own out of it.
Yes.
Oh, that's an idea. You're halfway there. Oh yeah, here's my sentence. Okay, so can I write 3 sentences and really give an astute conversation about how I handled this situation, or how this worked for me or worked for my client, and then it's yours.
Oh,
I mean, you could have your own imagery or your own video or your own writings or whatever the results are. And again, you could also drive it to somewhere else. Hey, yeah, I have a case study about this on my website.
Absolutely.
Go check it out. I think you could really pull these things and start to, it makes it a whole lot easier. You
It
don't have
does.
to generate ideas.
It does.
You can build ideas.
I literally, the other day, I screen grabbed a comment by Gary Vee. He put out a post. I just screen grabbed it on my phone, reshared the image and all that,
Right.
and made it my post with my comments on it.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, there you go. It literally took me 5 minutes, if that, to
Right.
do. And it's like, oh, I hit the little schedule button. I schedule out. That's a whole other thing about scheduling. That limited resources is about your limited resources of time, too.
Absolutely.
LinkedIn now has, you could schedule out your post.
Right.
You could spend an hour on Sunday creating 3 social media posts.
Sure.
Boom. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, here's what I got going on. Schedule them, walk away. They come up, you see the comments. You just have to engage with the comments now.
Yeah. So again, that's another one, limited resources. There are tools out there that can do that too, some more expensive than others, but you could do some of this for free.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about, oh, until I get that tool, I can't start to build my content and start pushing it out there. You can always start with something and then see where you go from there.
Absolutely. Here's a little AI thing. I write my post. I put it in ChatGPT, and I said, hey, tweak this a little for me. They add the hashtags. They add the little rocket ships. They add all those cool little icons and everything in it that makes it a little bit more eye-popping.
Sure.
It's my words. They're tweaking it a little bit by adding some stuff, but they're also finding me hashtags that help with the reach.
Sure.
And that's just, so take advantage of what AI can do for you. Not write the post for you,
Right.
but how they can better the post for you with little
Absolutely.
things.
Or if you have an outline, hey, how do I get these 3 ideas to formulate into some kind of post?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be super long, but once you start generating ideas, and then I would always say if you pull something out of AI and they generate it for you, just make it into your own words.
Yes.
I think if you can make it in your voice, because that's critical to
That
brand.
is critical.
Because you don't want it to be something where when I meet Chris in person, he sounds nothing like his posts. We don't want that. But if you make it your own, you can utilize these resources in a lot of easy ways to make things happen.
Correct. I don't start off every paragraph in a digital world, but
Right.
ChatGPT does.
Right. Right.
I always notice that. And then you see the asterisks about, and you're like, oh, they just took that from ChatGPT.
Right.
I could tell when someone just copies and pastes. So think about the ways you can use the resources you do have and the abilities that you have, and go out there and try AI. Do these Canvas. I use Canva a lot for stuff too. See what's out there in the tools and everything that can make this process work for you, so you can have that consistent 3, 5, if you can, social media posts which lead to your website or lead someplace where it can generate some good quality engagement.
And if you can make it palatable and make it something maybe you would enjoy versus a chore, that's going to show in all your content as well. And obviously, it'll be probably a lot brighter, stronger, and probably more in your voice and more in your brand.
Absolutely. All right, hope you enjoyed today's bomb idea, and we'll see you next time.